For many years, a large number of fans have believed that Gol D Roger was the strongest pirate in the world of One Piece. The reasoning appears simple. He was the Pirate King, and he possessed the highest bounty in history. However, this is precisely where a major misconception arises. A bounty is not an absolute measure of strength. It is an assessment of how dangerous an individual is to the world government. Roger became a legend not because he was unbeatable, but because he achieved something no one else could, reaching Laugh Tale and uncovering the world's greatest secrets. In reality, the story presents individuals whose raw power, destructive capability, and battlefield dominance arguably surpass Roger himself. In fact, there exists a figure so formidable that defeating him required an alliance between multiple legends. So if not Roger, who is truly the strongest pirate? These are the 10 strongest pirates in One Piece, ranked from the lowest within this elite tier to the one who stands at the very pinnacle of true power. 10. Marshal D. Teach. Marshal D. Teach, widely known as Blackbeard, stands as one of the most anomalous figures in the history of piracy. He is the only known individual to possess 2 devil fruit abilities simultaneously, namely the Yami Yami no Mi and the Gura Gura no Mi. This unprecedented combination grants him a unique advantage: the ability to nullify the powers of other devil fruit users while simultaneously unleashing large-scale destructive force. In combat, Blackbeard does not rely on refined technique or disciplined execution. Instead, he embraces chaos and opportunism, often striking at moments when his opponents are most vulnerable. Despite his overwhelming offensive potential, he continues to exhibit notable weaknesses in defensive consistency and advanced Haki mastery. He has been observed absorbing direct attacks without effectively mitigating the damage. This indicates that, although his destructive capabilities are immense, his overall combat maturity has yet to reach the level of the greatest legends. At present, he is best described as a rapidly evolving threat approaching the pinnacle of power. 9. Shanks. Shanks represents a rare example of supreme power achieved without reliance on a devil fruit. Through his exceptional mastery of Haki, particularly Advanced Conqueror's Haki, he stands on equal footing with other Yonko. His Haki has demonstrated the ability to exert influence over opponents from a considerable distance, an ability rarely observed even among elite combatants. His mere presence is often sufficient to halt large-scale conflicts, reflecting both his overwhelming power and his commanding influence. His attacks are characterized by precision, speed, and lethality, as evidenced by his swift defeat of formidable opponents, such as Eustace Kid. However, Shanks remains a subject of debate due to the limited number of fully depicted battles. Much of his strength is inferred through reputation and acknowledgement from other powerful figures. Nevertheless, within the world of One Piece, such a reputation is never without substantial foundation. Shanks is an elite combatant whose full capabilities may not yet have been entirely revealed. 8. Dracule Mihawk. Dracule Mihawk holds the official title of the world's strongest swordsman, a designation that firmly establishes him at the apex of swordsmanship. This title is not merely honorary. It reflects a recognized supremacy in technique, precision, and cutting power. Mihawk is capable of executing strikes powerful enough to cleave massive ships and even slice through enormous waves with minimal effort. He was once a rival to Shanks, indicating that the two shared a comparable level of combat ability in the past. Unlike many other high-tier fighters, Mihawk approaches combat with calm efficiency, avoiding unnecessary movements and conserving energy with precision. One of the primary challenges in evaluating his full strength lies in the scarcity of serious, fully demonstrated battles. As a result, the upper limits of his capabilities remain largely unquantified. Nonetheless, in a one-on-one duel, particularly one involving bladed weapons, Mihawk stands as an almost unparalleled force with no clearly defined weaknesses. 7. Monkey D. Luffy. Monkey D. Luffy has ascended to a level of power that firmly places him among the Yonko. Following the awakening of his devil fruit, revealed to be the mythical Zoan model Nika, he has acquired abilities that transcend conventional combat logic. In his Gear 5 form, Luffy can manipulate both his body and the surrounding environment with extreme elasticity, enabling a highly unpredictable and unconventional fighting style. He has also mastered advanced forms of Haki, including Advanced Conqueror's Haki, which is widely regarded as one of the highest indicators of strength. His most significant achievement to date is his victory over Kaido after an extended and grueling battle. However, this form is not without limitations. Gear 5 imposes considerable strain on his stamina, and its duration remains restricted. While Luffy is undoubtedly on a trajectory toward surpassing the legends of the past, he has not yet achieved complete mastery over his full potential. 6. Charlotte Linlin. Charlotte Linlin, known as Big Mom, is one of the most formidable entities to have ever ruled the seas. From an early age, she displayed physical strength far beyond that of ordinary humans. Through the power of the Saru Saru no Mi, she can manipulate souls and animate inanimate objects into living constructs known as homies, granting her a high degree of versatility in combat. Her body possesses near impenetrable durability, rendering most conventional attacks ineffective against her. In addition, she wields powerful haki, making her a highly complete and balanced combatant. Despite these strengths, her primary weakness lies in her psychological instability. Emotional fluctuations can compromise her focus and decision-making during battle. Nevertheless, Big Mom remains a dominant force that requires not only immense strength, but also careful strategy and coordination to defeat. She embodies a fusion of overwhelming physical power and unique soul-based abilities. 5. Kaido. Kaido is widely recognized as the strongest creature in the world, a title that reflects his unparalleled durability and physical power. He has demonstrated the ability to withstand a wide range of devastating attacks, while continuing to fight with minimal signs of fatigue. Through his mythical Zoan Devil Fruit, he can transform into a massive dragon, granting him immense destructive capabilities. Furthermore, Kaido has mastered multiple forms of advanced haki, including Advanced Conqueror's Haki, significantly enhancing his offensive and defensive prowess. He has faced numerous powerful opponents simultaneously and remained a dominant force throughout these encounters. Ultimately, however, he was defeated by Luffy after an extended and highly complex battle. This outcome indicates that, while extraordinarily powerful, he is not invincible. Kaido is a symbol of raw power, extreme durability, and physical dominance in the world of pirates. 4. Shiki. Shiki, also known as the Golden Lion, is one of the legendary pirates from Roger's era. He possesses the Fuwa Fuwa no Mi, a devil fruit that allows him to manipulate non-living objects and make them levitate, effectively granting him control over the battlefield. This ability enables large-scale offensive strategies that are difficult for opponents to counter. Historically, Shiki is known for his boldness in challenging Roger and for commanding a vast fleet that amplified his influence. His clash with Roger during the Ed War stands as evidence of his position among the strongest figures of his time. In addition to his devil fruit powers, Shiki is also a capable combatant with strategic acumen. Although his feats are not as extensively documented as those of other characters, his reputation and historical impact firmly establish him as a top-tier pirate of his era. 3. Gol D. Roger. Gol D. Roger is the only pirate to have successfully reached Laugh Tale and earned the title of Pirate King. His strength lies primarily in his mastery of haki, including Conqueror's Haki of the highest caliber, capable of clashing with Whitebeard and splitting the sky. Notably, Roger possessed no devil fruit abilities, indicating that his power was derived entirely from combat skill and experience. He consistently faced and overcame the strongest opponents of his era, maintaining his position at the pinnacle of piracy. However, it is important to note that he was never explicitly confirmed to be the strongest in absolute terms. His battles with Whitebeard ended in stalemate rather than decisive victory. Roger symbolizes freedom, ambition, and ultimate achievement, but not necessarily the highest level of raw destructive power. 2. Edward Newgate, known as Whitebeard. Whitebeard is the individual who most closely embodies the concept of absolute strength within the world of One Piece. He holds the official title of the strongest man in the world, a recognition that firmly establishes his supremacy. Through the power of the Gura Gura no Mi, he can generate earthquakes capable of shaking the seas, the air, and even the very fabric of space. This ability grants him one of the highest levels of destructive power ever seen. In addition, Whitebeard possesses advanced haki, including Conqueror's Haki, which further amplifies his combat effectiveness. In his prime, he was able to fight Roger on equal terms, while maintaining a clear advantage in raw destructive capability. Beyond his physical strength, he also possessed immense endurance and extensive battle experience. Whitebeard stands as the ultimate representation of raw, proven power, making him the most solid and undeniable benchmark of strength based on canonical evidence. 1. Rox D. Xebec. Rox D. Xebec is one of the most mysterious and dangerous figures in the history of the world. He captained a crew that included extraordinary individuals such as Whitebeard, Kaido, and Big Mom in their younger years. The mere fact that he could command such a group speaks volumes about his dominance and authority. His ambitions were said to directly challenge the world government itself. Most notably, his defeat required the combined efforts of both Roger and Garp, two of the greatest figures of their time. This strongly suggests that, on an individual level, his strength surpassed even the highest-tier legends of his era. Although detailed accounts of his battles remain scarce, his overwhelming portrayal influence and the scale of threat he represented elevate him above all others. Rocks represent a level of power that is not only immense, but potentially beyond what has been fully revealed, making him the most compelling candidate for the strongest pirate in history.